Ever wondered how to keep an eye on your DigitalOcean bill like a pro? Most people think monitoring is just about performance. But what if I told you it's also hidden cost saving superpower? Hi, my name is Akshay, and in this video, we will explore how DigitalOcean monitoring and alerting helps you detect waste, tune workloads, and make every dollar of your cloud bill count. Let's start with monitoring tool. Here I have a droplet running, as you can see on the screen. The droplet that I'll be using for this demo is deploy 2025. If I open this, you see the graph section. You can see CPU, load, memory, disk IO, disk usage, bandwidth. But how do we see these graphs? So you see these graphs when you're creating the droplet, we don't give you an option to install a monitoring agent. Let this load up and I'll show you. So if you scroll down and if you see here, under we recommend these options, there's an option to add improved metric monitoring and alerting, which is absolutely free of cost. You can either install it while creating the droplets from the UI or also via the DigitalOcean API or CLI. If you miss installing it while creating the droplet, you can always add it later via command line as well. So this metric agent is an open source Go utility that collects system level metrics and forwards them to DigitalOcean. So let's go back to the droplet that we are using for the demo, which is deploy 2025. Now let's see about the graph, the monitoring section, right? You can see my CPU consumption here is roughly around 40%, right? Which means I'm only consuming 40% of the CPU. That means I am paying for a way more powerful machine that I'm actually using. So instead of this machine, which is a general purpose machine of 64 GB RAM and 16 CPU, I could use a smaller machine as well, right? And I could probably run this on a $250 per month droplet and save half my bill instantly. But how can you track this? You cannot always come here and see the graphs, right? There comes the option of monitoring. So let me show you how you can set up alerts for these monitoring. When I go to the monitoring section on my console, I see an option to select resource alerts and create resource alerts. I do have one created for the testing purpose. So create resource alert, I click it. You see the option of CPU utilization percentage. There are many more you can select based on load average, memory utilization, disk read and write, and also on bandwidth. For this demo, I will be selecting CPU utilization and I set it to anything below probably 45%. For more than an hour, I will be notified. Right. So I do have an option to set this threshold and then select the droplet. Now on the droplet, you can either select all the droplets or you can select a tag or you can also select individual droplets. So for this demo, I can select probably the deploy 2025 droplet, right? And then I have the option to select the or create the alert notification method. You can be alerted via email. You can be alerted via Slack. And on the email, you can add multiple email address whom you want to notify, correct? And this way you can create resource alerts and you will be notified every time the threshold is reached. Now, as an example, you have a workload or application that spikes users periodically, maybe once in a week. You can always take a snapshot of those machines and reduce the size of those droplets. When the load is expected to be higher, you can always upsize the droplet. So think this as a monitoring and alert as an early warning system, but not just for performance, for cost as well. So that with this information, you can take informed decision and tweak the size of the droplet and save a lot of cost. Let's look into billing alerts now. This is my SafeNet. So a billing alert can be set by a user with the owner or biller role. We also have custom roles now. So if you provide custom access to billing sections to any of your users, they should also be able to set up billing alerts. On the billing alerts, I can set threshold. So as you can see in the screen, I am under billing settings and I see the option of billing alerts. Currently, it is disabled. If I click on enable alert, it gives me an option to set the alert amount and you will receive an email whenever your monthly balance reaches the specified amount below. Let me explain with an example. Let's say I'm setting an alert of $1,000. However, for the month for the project in the month, I want to spend not more than $3,000, which means if I set an alert of $1,000, I should be notified or I should be receiving an email somewhere around 10th of the month, 10th of every month, right? Let's say I receive the email on the 8th of this month, which means I am little overspending. By the end of this month, probably my bill might cost $3,000, right? So it is a good time to keep a check and understand how I can improve or save some money on the billing, right? However, in a similar scenario, you receive the email on 12th of the month that $1,000 has been reached, which means your budget is well under control and it might not cross $3,000 in the month, right? So that is how you can use it. And it seems perfect for any of your side projects, hackathons, or even AI experiments where usage is little unpredictable. In fact, I like to think of this as a parental lock to your cloud bill. Thank you so much.